Yeah, we're live! Welcome
This is
everyone to
weird.
Crafty Boys. My name is Shane.
Oh, and I'm Alan.
And there's somebody else here.
Yeah.
Me. Me? Hello, me.
I'm here, bitches.
So
Okay, Dave.
I'm in Victoria, if you happen to tell, and that's how we like to roll, because that's just how it is.
He showed up at my house with a bag and saying, "Can I sleep on your couch?"
Yeah, that's right. It was awful.
He finally got booted out.
Shut up, Cameron.
Okay.
Hang on one second. I'm just going to forward something here.
You're gonna forward something.
So
what are we drinking?
I'm doing stuff wrong.
What are we
Yeah,
drinking?
what are we drinking, Dave? Whose choice was it?
It
Was
was
it mine? It was kind of mine, but no, it's one you
No,
picked.
it was more Alan's. He said, "Hey,
It was
why
a-
don't,
it was
why
a
don't
group
we do
pick.
this?"
Show us your bottle.
All
It's, it's the Lighthouse 150. Alan said, "Hey, I want to do this one."
Well, I
Lighthouse
suggested
one-
that because
We
it was
said-
Canada Day
Sure.
this week.
Yep.
We are live right now.
There was cookie licking going
Yes.
on behind us.
He doesn't realize that we're actually live right now.
That's okay.
Millions of people around the world just watch him lick his cookies.
No, dude.
Because it was Canada Day this past weekend, we decided to do the Lighthouse 150. And the reason why that's significant is because it was Canada's 150th birthday. What did you do for Canada Day, Shane?
What did I do? What did I do for Canada Day? It was Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yes. I ended up doing. I actually don't remember. Oh, I know.
Must
We
have had a good time.
There was a party on our roof deck.
Oh, there you go.
And there was
Nice.
there was a whole bunch of people there, and
Did you see fireworks?
we saw multiple versions. We saw the fireworks going on, which were downtown at the Canada Place. You could see those from our roof.
Yeah.
But then people, I think, tried to blow up their car next door,
Really?
and a whole bunch of fireworks went off in the parking lot. I didn't actually see what happened, but like a whole bunch went off at the same time.
Right.
So I assume it was on purpose. And then just throughout the night, people in the neighborhood throwing fireworks in the air and stuff like that. So
Sweet.
it was pretty cool. It was pretty tame actually this year because a lot of the time it can get really we gotta get really close.
Yeah.
It was really awesome.
You know, people like on set in like films and TV have
Yeah.
to be uncomfortably close to each
Really?
other. Yeah, I mean they are, but it doesn't look that way when you're
On
watching
film.
it on TV.
Okay.
But
So they're like,
but in reality,
I
like
think
they're
that
right
we're
here.
going to-
Like,
we've got. Oh man.
yeah, like- yeah. So we're gonna have to do this.
So we have
right?
to
We're gonna have to like be
get right in here like this.
close.
Yeah. So anyway, the criminals went south on blood. So anyway, overall, what did you do for Canada Day?
What did I do? I coached a baseball game, and
Did you win?
No,
No. Damn. Not even close.
not even close.
What was the score? 13-5. That's
No, on Saturday it was even worse than that.
What was it on Saturday?
Saturday, I think it was 13-1. 13-1.
I mean, good job. Way to show effort.
We were playing against what is this is Little League, so this is like the 9 and 10-year-olds, all stars from the different parks. They get together
Okay.
and play in a tournament to find who's the best one in the district. And that's not the park that we are at. Never is. It's always another park, and that held true this year. We went 1-4, our record. We have one game left to go. We got one game left to go, so we'll see how it
So
goes.
it might be 2-5 then, and that
2 for 5.
okay.
Yes, it might be.
That's a little more respectable.
Maybe. We'll see.
Did you ever play ball growing up?
I did actually. Yes, I did.
What
Maybe it's my
like how
son.
far did you go?
Not very.
Like we're talking like you were in T-ball and went up to like
No, I didn't
until
do
you were, like,
t-ball. I did
12 or something
softball.
like
I did softball, And then for a year or two, I went into town and we did the balls of the harder variety.
Perhaps we should open beer one
I think
time.
we
always-
forgot to open.
I always
We did.
like
We talked about it a little bit, then we
Before
went
the
on a
beer.
little bit. Okay, so we're gonna open up the beer. We're opening up the Lighthouse
I like Shane's
Explorer
trying not
Series
to laugh.
150 Heritage Ale. Now, Lighthouse is a brewery here in Victoria. Shane, I'll pour a little bit for Shane because he is apparently
Yes,
driving.
I have to
He is
drive this
responsible.
evening, so I'm a responsible adult. Very good.
There you go. There's your thimble.
It doesn't smell like anything.
Oh yes, it does.
Now, this is supposed to be a smoky, bacony kind of beer.
Okay,
That's-
I'm getting a hint of. That's the
It's
color, by the way.
Totally
getting a little hint of
smoky and bacony.
Now, this isn't a very good pour, but there's my.
There's
Oh, okay,
mine. I was
The taste
careful.
is what speaks for itself. Like that's like drinking a plate of smoky
It
bacon.
smells better out of the bottle.
But yeah, totally.
Oh,
Really? Let's see.
yeah.
It concentrates.
I'm detecting.
Oh, okay,
maple
yeah,
as
okay,
well.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
maple. And
That's like
smoky bacon in
maple
it.
syrup with burned bacon.
Remember, we did another beer a while back, and it was supposed to be a smoky, bacony, mapley kind of flavor, and
Yeah.
it tasted nothing like.
I was
that.
going to say,
mean,
I don't recall.
this
it
is
ever
what
actually
this is
working.
what that beer should have been.
So,
Agreed.
so that's the beer that we're having today. Now this is of course, for the 150 heritage thing, being Canada's 150 years old now. But Dave, let's go back to your baseball because I was curious because I've never asked you questions about baseball. So you played softball, then you went into hardball. How old did you get? Like how did that work?
How old did he
I
get?
How old were you when you stopped playing? I mean,
I was pretty young. Like I think junior high it was before junior high that I quit playing.
because I mean my career in baseball my childhood career went until I was 16, I think. What is 16
wow.
called? What is that? That's
Well, back then that would have been Babe Ruth.
yeah, it was Babe Ruth, I think. Yeah, but I missed my last game because the game prior, during the playoffs or whatever, the assistant coach went around telling everyone when the game was, but he gave us the wrong time. And apparently phone calls went out to everybody saying, no, sorry, it's not 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's actually 11 or whatever. And I don't know why I didn't know, but I remember very clearly to this day, like he looked at all of us and said, it's 1 o'clock, PM after lunch, make sure, blah, 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 whatever. And so I show up at the game and my team is running off after having just lost. And I get to the dugout and they're like, yeah, where the hell were you? And I'm like, yesterday or 2 days before you said 1 o'clock. So that's what I told my parents and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And he just yelled at me about how I was wrong and this, that, and the other thing. But I heard from some of the other kids on the team that they had actually, their parents had been called and but they didn't call my parents. Otherwise my parents would have said, you're an idiot. We're going at 11. But yeah, I remember that being so clearly that I missed the very last game of that, and that was it. I was done.
Were you good or did you suck?
Oh, I was terrible.
Well, that maybe
I was not.
Maybe,
They told me on
that's
purpose,
why they didn't
don't call
you.
Burley. He's gonna. I remember being made fun of because I was. I wasn't. I was there to have fun, and my parents wanted me to do sports and whatnot, but I wasn't very good at it. And I remember one time actually, I had these donated shoes from I don't know where. They weren't brand new, but cleated shoes, and so we went and. I remember one day I tied them up and one of the laces, the double tie had come undone. So we were doing drills for grounders or whatever. And I was standing there waiting my turn, and then I go, and the first thing I do is my cleat on my other foot catches in my laces. I just went face down like a tree. Timber. I never lived that down. I never lived that down at all. It was so sad. But
he's only done that about like 50 million times.
yeah, probably. But that particular moment was when everyone was just like, "Oh my god." So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed baseball, but as a teenager, you start getting interested in other stuff, and I didn't really care.
Cheers.
as much. Cheers.
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 We don't often get to do that.
It is true.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we did that. So you actually went further in baseball, did you not?
No, I didn't
No,
actually. I stopped playing when I was 13.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts? What age group is that? Like that's the
13.
What were they
age
called
group.
at that time? Oh,
Babe Ruth. There was two levels
okay.
of Babe Ruth. So there was 13-year-olds and then or 13 and 14-year-olds and then 15 and 16-year-olds. Yeah, I just when I got to that level, I didn't want to compete at that level, and so I gave it up. And I actually went into umpiring from there on.
Okay.
And I stayed in the game by being an umpire for the next few years.
Cool.
Which was cool.
Were you an ump, Dave?
No, I was not. No, I just played. I don't even remember what position I played.
I was I remember in my, what is the Little League, the prior to Babe Ruth when you're like 10,
Yeah,
11,
Little League.
Is that what it's called? But I remember playing like second base for a while and shortstop a lot of the time. But for Babe Ruth, I was out in the outfield.
Shortstop, that's an intense position, man.
It is.
Yeah, well, I mean,
all the positions are intense, but shortstop, you have to be especially mobile.
Yeah, well, I remember being, actually, one time I remember being in, I think I was in left field, or was I in center? I might have been in center. Anyway, I forgot exactly when, or where I was, but there was a pop-up fly to the outfield, and I came in to go and get it. But the second or shortstop decided they wanted to get the ball and drove their head into my guts. And I was laying down on the after that. I couldn't get up after that. I fell down. My parents weren't there for some reason. They were off somewhere else. Like I'd come there with another parent, and they put me on the dugout. And I was laying in the dugout because I was in a lot of pain. And my parents showed up, or I think my mother showed up, and I couldn't get up off the dugout thing because I was in, so
It's called a bench.
No one, thank you. A bench, but I couldn't get up. So I eventually was helped up, and then I got to go. And I went to the hospital. I actually apparently had bruised my spleen, and like stuff had inflamed and grown really big and stuff like that. And
Whoa!
it was quite a serious injury from a kid driving his head into my guts because he wanted the ball more than I did.
And this
although
is
I don't.
guy on your
the thing
team.
is, I didn't. I was just looking up, ready to catch the ball, and I just suddenly I was hit.
You know what would be funny? If you were laying there and everything and your guts are all sore and everything, and then you get up and you're just like
everything falls out.
Quaid,
Catch the ball, Quaid.
Open your mind.
Oh my god. And then I suddenly see like Mars and stuff.
Oh man.
But and I suddenly want to go to Mars. But yeah, those are the two memories, the real big memories I have of baseball. I mean, I know I played for a long time because I think I was in T-ball as well, and that kind of I sort of went up. It was always at Leyritz Park, which is not far from here. So, but yeah, and then I became a teenager.
I can't get is what the hell? Like this kid is apparently on your team. I'm guessing.
Well, when you're that age, you're like 10 years old, right, or so, or maybe even younger.
10,
so,
yeah. I've seen weirder stuff.
Playing a position is more of a guideline than an actual rule. I can't remember. Yeah.
Listen, I was coaching a team one year, and this was a little bit younger kid, so this is probably like 8 years old, and he was playing right field, and I had him play deep right field. And there was a play at the plate, and it was quite dramatic. And when the dust settled, you know who was standing behind the plate? That kid from right field.
What?
He had run all the way in, cover the play.
Well, that's not a bad thing. If you're
but
was the play
point
long
is
over by the time
these kids, you put them out on the field, they're all over the place. They don't know where they want to be.
I remember my father always telling me this story of I don't know if it was me, but running the bases, but this is like really young, and my dad always says, it's like somebody, either a kid or me or whatever, went to go to run to first base, and then asked where I had to go next, and somebody and whoever gave the direction said you go to second, and the kid or myself responded, "That pillow over there." So yeah, I mean, baseball's kind of cool. Like
there's more rules in baseball than there are in any other sport.
Really?
And just case in point, I had a kid on my team this year who is about this is like 9 and 10-year-olds, and I think he was 10, and it was his first year. And I'm like, well, how remedial do I make my training here? I didn't really know what he knew and what he didn't know. And I just kind of took it for granted that he would know the most basic stuff.
There's a stick,
so,
you hit the ball with it, and you run to.
Well, exactly. So he gets up to bat, and actually, I mean, he struck out his first few times. So, and he's seen his teammates hit the ball and run down to first. So he gets his first hit, and he hits the ball, drops the bat, runs to third.
Was he a lefty or was he?
No, he was right-handed.
Oh, wow.
He's seen all of his. He didn't see anybody else hit the ball and run to third, and
wow.
He did this. I mean, great kid. Not nothing against the kid. I mean, he's a fantastic kid, but it was just like, how remedial do you make your training for a kid who's never played before? At that age,
you go to first.
Yeah, he was out. He was out.
Well, yeah. I mean, when he gets to third, everyone's like, "What's going on, tag?" The third base coach goes, like, no? Okay. That is kind of
hey, awesome. I just want to point out this beer from Lighthouse is really, really good.
It is good.
I'm really enjoying
I'm taking my bottle home.
You're not. You said you'd leave it here.
Damn it!
Another one.
It's of course not. It's being brewed a little bit longer apparently, and so they're disappearing.
This should be in their regular arsenal.
I agree. I think like the Explorer series here of the Heritage Ale should, I think, yeah.
The Lighthouse.
Just call it 151 next year, 152, 153. Just do it that way. No one mind.
What if they were to make this sort of like a regular run beer? What should they call it?
Oh, if this were this would
like
be
if it was like a regular thing that you could get year round.
Call it smoking bacon.
No, that sucks.
That blows. Your ideas are dumb, and I hope you just die. That's a good question.
What could they call it?
Maple?
Maple? No.
I'm trying to say maple bacon at the same time. My brain was like, call it maple. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Maple.
You know what? They could do it in cooperation with Smitty's.
Smitty's would serve it.
Smitty's, like Smitty's.
Does Smitty's serve
beer.
Alcohol?
I'm sure.
Mr. Mike's.
No, but Smitty's sells like maple pancakes and.
Doesn't Mr. Mike's?
Sorry, I realized who our viewers are here. One of them is my sister, who said, "One of your baseballs hit the top of my head."
That's what.
That answers everything. And apparently, I would be disowned if I didn't bring booze with me from the island. But yeah, or from the island, from the other bigger island.
You mean the continent?
that place, where the land is
continent.
with the mountains.
It's like one of 6
deserts,
continents or something.
And there's a lot of people there. Let me guess. Our call-in. Yeah, thanks. She's just said, "Shut up." Mainland. That place with the thing with the. What is that line from that movie? There's somebody's trying to describe like their house, like where we all live, or we all go inside it. Actually, it might be The Simpsons. Going to think of it. Marge, where's that digger thing that brings food to my mouth? A spoon? Yeah! That's totally what my brain is having that moment. Bacon. We're gonna have bacon.
Bacon.
There you go. The 150 is now officially called Macon.
Lighthouse. That's it. It's called Macon. No. That's what you call it in your regular run because it deserves a regular run.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
This is a good beer.
It is a good beer. I like it a lot.
Like what's
some kid with his name on his back of his underwear or underwear.
A kid wandering around the house in their underwear.
Their names on their butts. Like, you guys take your pants off or take your shirts off, I can't tell who you are, so you got to put it on the back.
So I have to say, this is quite the thing in my house right now, apparently, because we got Shane here, and all of my kids are kind of wandering around, and they're listening. They're actually watching the podcast. They were watching the podcast over here, so I can hear it delayed in my ear.
I couldn't hear it in this ear. Okay.
Oh.
I had no idea.
So it was weird. Like I say something, it's like 30 seconds later, it's over here.
Yeah, bring it up just so I can go. Shut up, Cameron. See, here's the thing: when I'm in Vancouver, he can't hear me say that. Maybe once in a while, but it's like "Shut up, Cameron" like 20 times in a row. And I know he can't hear me, but now "Shut up, Cameron." But yeah.
Dave, did you guys have fireworks for Canada Day up there in Black Creek?
I definitely not here. No.
Did you guys watch Bugs?
I lit a candle and pretended.
Did you guys watch Bugs get incinerated by one of those electric bug zapper things?
What?
Oh,
Bugs! I thought my brain was like Bugs Bunny got killed. Bugs Bunny did it! Yay, Canada! What's up there? I should have turned to Albuquerque.
Oh wow!
I've been driving for a while, I guess. And,
okay, I was gonna say.
But so yeah, Bugs on a bug zappers. I totally see Dave doing that. I really do. I picture him.
I could see him wearing like overalls, like denim overalls, but one overall is undone.
And, he's got like one of those white,
like, and he's sitting there. He's sitting there in like a chair on the porch or something. He goes, oh, look.
I don't gotta go to work today.
Let's go get that.
I'm gonna catch me some of them dragonflies and I'm gonna put them in there on purpose. I like the way their abdomens explode. I like the look of bug on my fingers. Oh god, that's so wrong. That is so wrong.
And he's out there, and he's got his musical instrument, which of course is a jug.
Yeah,
and he blows into it.
Nah, banjo.
A banjo? Yeah, I mean you are a guitar player, so the banjo would work out quite well. And then I picture somehow bears wandering in, and one's got a bass, one's got something else going on.
Dave,
got the
do you know how to ham bone?
What the hell is a ham bone?
The ham bone. That's what what the country folk do. The
spoon thing and the other. Okay, yeah. Oh, the washboard. They got the washboard thing. I mean, my entire family has no musical talent whatsoever.
Do you watch a lot of hee-haw?
Yeah, none. Yeah.
Oh wait, my sister's typing. Musical talent, yeah, whatever.
And there goes the first.
She suggests we start a band. The hand bone, or is it ham bone? Is it the ham bone?
Ham bone.
I think apparently my sister says you said hand bone.
Oh no.
Those are called spoons. Yeah. Okay. Oh god. Best episode ever.
We have talked about forming a band in the past.
That would be kind of cool, like to do like some Spinal Tap, what they did for heavy metal.
Yeah.
We would do for like backwoods country.
Well, have you seen the I forgot what they're called, but they play spoons, and there's a guy with like a single drum and another guy has a
Jug band.
a mouth that's like a rubber band in the mouth sort of instrument. But they do AC/DC covers on YouTube.
Oh, actually, I have
You've
seen
these.
that.
Yeah, there's a really
There's
great
also
one
a guy
for
that does-
Thunderstruck.
There's also a guy that does, and quite amazingly, does like Slayer and stuff using a banjo.
My sister recommends Big Bottom too.
Big Bottom.
Yeah, there you go. Spinal Tap for everybody out there. I really wish they come out with one more album. Speaking of Spinal Tap, I think there should be at least one more album. Because
Not gonna happen.
the last one they did was what 1990. Oh, actually, you can get unplugged and unwigged or whatever it was called.
Oh,
I think is
from
a,
the
as a
concert
thing.
that
yeah,
we saw.
Yeah, so I think
Really?
you can get that now.
Oh.
I saw an album cover for it somewhere, not recently, but in the last year or so. But which was a great thing. I mean, it's too bad Dave couldn't go because he couldn't leave Black Creek.
Yeah. Couldn't get the time
I
off
don't
work.
remember hearing about this thing.
I think
years ago.
it was Unplugged and Unwigged was the tour.
I don't remember that. Actually. I remember the
We went and
actual
saw them,
concert,
but I think that's what it
really
was
good.
called. So something like that, anyway. But yeah, basically it was Shearer, Guest, and
McKeon.
McKeon on stage, doing not being the characters, but they were once in a while they'd slip into character. But essentially it was just them with their raw instruments. Like Shearer had the big sort of
Double bass.
thing going on, and there was I think it was entirely acoustic. I don't recall any.
It was
electric
entirely
stuff, so-
acoustic, and they did stuff from Spinal Tap, from A Mighty Wind.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it wasn't just Spinal Tap specifically. It was like all the musical
right,
stuff from
right,
all
right.
those
Okay.
series of films.
They did a lot of the songs that they have done in their various films and various characters and stuff as a team. right?
Yeah. So and they started in Vancouver, which is where they apparently Vancouver is the jump off point now for like the bulk of the North American concerts for like the big name acts. Right? They've got
Really?
they always start there, then they move on to somewhere. Usually either across Canada or they dip down into sort of Seattle and go south and then come back up, kind of thing.
Yeah. We've got a Slytherin kid.
You got a
behind us.
Slytherin kid. Wait a minute, come here.
Come here.
Shut up, Cameron. Shut. He told me to be quiet.
They farted at us.
Oh man, you raised some really solid children. Oh, cool.
All right.
This just reminds me of the time where your youngest was watching the video at like midnight or whatever. But yeah. So anyway, there you go. Our stories about baseball and stuff like that. But let's keep this one short because I have to drive onward. But Lighthouse Brewing, thank you. This beer is amazing.
It is.
I think that we need to have it continue. I think you should rename it to Macon, and put it out there because it's a decent beer, and it's quite honestly we've had a lot of.
They could also call it Baple.
Baple. Actually, I kind of like that better than Macon.
No, Macon sounds better. Well, Macon is a city in Georgia.
Yeah,
so maybe
that's
it
where all
should
the
be
zombie
Baple.
outbreaks happen. So
Baple.
yeah.
Baple.
I'm not
Baple
sure
it
it's
is.
pronounced that way though.
So Dave, do you pronounce this beer as something you would drink because beer must be quaffable?
Yeah,
by
we haven't
those
heard
who are
from
not the
you.
biggest
What do you
fans?
think?
I actually agree with you guys. I like this
Nice.
one. And it does, like Alan was saying, it's actually tastes like it says tastes.
Yeah.
And it's damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Good job, Lighthouse.
Thumbs up.
Yay, Lighthouse! Yeah.
Oh,
Way to go! Baseball, awesome. So don't forget this year, of course, in September. Dave, this is actually more for you than anyone else watching. Beer Fest in Victoria.
Oh, yeah.
You have to go, you wiener. You now have 2 months to plan.
I booked the day off work.
So
Have
there you go. Book the day off work. You're coming this time. This is like 2 years in a row. You're like, I'm totally going, and then you bail to the last minute, you wiener. So yeah, so you have to come this week, and because then we can actually do something from there live. Because I've been experimenting with live streaming for on other platforms. So there you go.
I feel like we're kind of like in like one of those WWF wrestling.
I just finished
things
watching.
right
Did you
now.
watch? Have you got Netflix?
Yeah.
Did you watch Glow?
I was actually talking about it earlier. I want to watch it.
Last weekend burned through the whole thing.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, it's awesome. It's great.
But I almost feel like we're like in like one of those video things where like we should have Mean Gene Okerlund with a with a microphone in our faces.
And Dave,
you're going down, Dave.
Dave's going to be going to the thing. Otherwise, if he
Yeah.
there's going to be pain in Spain on the plane where the rain and the doves died.
Kill the doves, man.
Don't kill doves. Don't do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, watch out! Watch out!
Uh-oh.
So everybody, thank you for watching for this particular episode. This is episode 108, and we'll see you guys next.
I don't
week.
have the sound effects all queued up.
That's all right.
All right.
Okay.